My name is Jenny Wu, and it's my first time here in Argentina. Well, I started my project in 2008 acoustically because I really liked the idea of folk music, which is music that's by the people, for the people. It's very simple, stripped down music. It's very working class in principle. I like, of course, the spirit of rebellion and punk rock was mostly my influences, and I wanted to merge the two together. I actually wrote a lot of songs before I started this project, and I looked a lot for a band that would play with me at that time, but it was very difficult to get the members together. So I thought better than playing alone, or better than playing not at all, it would be better to play alone. So that's the reason why I started this project acoustically. So I heard a lot about the Argentinian punk rock scene. I listened to bands like Attack 77 and the Violators from Argentina, and there was a real 77 feel, even from the 70s and 80s. So I knew that there was a long tradition of punk rock here, and it was always interesting to me. I met the promoter for this tour in Blackpool in 2013, randomly, when we were in line having some beers together for the tickets. And he mentioned to me, like, maybe you should think about coming to South America. Never in my life did I think that I would have the opportunity to play here, but it was such a great opportunity, I couldn't pass it up. Some of the bands I played with last night, like Crabs Corporation, which is a great dub reggae band, skinhead reggae from Buenos Aires, as well as Los Rompientes, which is like a 77 influenced punk rock band from here. Great bands. Tomorrow we're playing in Rosario. There's also a lot of bands from Buenos Aires, from Argentina that's playing, and I can't wait to check them out too. From what I understand, there's a few bands that are really political from Argentina. For me, I try to stay away from politics in this sense. So I heard a few skinhead bands from different compilations, a few boy bands, but I've never seen any of them live, and I'm really looking forward to seeing more of them on this tour. So as you know, Canada is a very, very big country. It's very spread out. I'm from Alberta, from Edmonton, so of course I'm very familiar with the bands that are from my area. I saw a lot of bands from Vancouver, like Alternate Action, Bishop's Green, which are amazing bands if you haven't heard of them already. But generally speaking, it's very hard to see a lot of bands unless you're from a major urban center like Toronto, Montreal, or Vancouver. So a lot of the bands that I saw were bands that either came touring or that were just my local bands. The Rebellion Festival is kind of like the mecca of punk rock for a lot of people. I mean, United Kingdom is where punk rock was born, and a lot of the bands that were at the front end of the punk rock tradition are still playing today at Rebellion Festival. The first time that I was there was actually called Holidays in the Sun and Wasted, and I saw bands like Vice Squad, Anti-Nowhere League, Peter and the Tattoo Babies, I mean, Slaughter and the Dogs, Stiff Little Fingers, you name it. I mean, it was unbelievable to see the bands that had influenced me my entire childhood, my entire life live. So to play there in 2013 was a huge honor. I mean, to share a stage with Becky Bondage, it was unbelievable, you know? To play there as a single solo artist, it wasn't so hard. I played on the acoustic stage, so there was already a precedent for solo acoustic acts to play, but generally speaking, it is hard to play as a solo acoustic act, especially in a festival context where you're playing alongside a lot of full bands, and it's hard to compete with the full sound and the full energy of a plugged-in band. So there are challenges, but I also feel like there's strengths, because playing as a solo acoustic act is something that's automatically different. So you pull a lot of people from the interest factor, and I feel like if you deliver well and if you have a strong message and a strong performance, that can be even more engaging than a full band. So the shows so far in Argentina have been, my Spanish, they've been fantastico. I have had a great time. It's only my third day and my voice is totally gone, so it's a lot of Camparis, a lot of cervezas, and a lot of parties, but I didn't know what to expect, and I can honestly say that the turnout has been amazing, and I felt so honored to play in front of so many people here. It's really been a dream come true, and I feel nothing but gratitude. final words, I just want to say muchas gracias. Thank you very much for this opportunity to do the interview. I think that DIY radio, DIY television and fanzines, journalism and media is really important, especially for the punk rock scene, in terms of keeping things alive, giving small acts like me exposure, and in terms of passing an alternative message. I want to thank, in general, every single person who came to support the show so far in Argentina, and it's my first time here, but I really hope it's not my last time. So, buenas noches, and see you next time. Gracias. Amigas and amigos, yo soy Jenny Wood de Canada. It's a pleasure to be here tonight. My first song is called The Voice of I.
The sound that